Hello out there, fellow YouTubians. It's time for lesson 11. Who would have thought that these classes would have lasted this long? But I'm still going strong, and there's so much to learn. We are finishing off the whole subject of diminutives today. Now, there are diminutives that are conjugated or declined like normal diminutives, except that they have a totally different meaning in the diminutive than they do as a normal noun. For example, ahoy is a house. But if you say Hazel, you mean a brothel, a house of ill repute. Likewise, a finger means a finger, but a fingero means a ring that one puts on one's fingers. And then there's the word chen, which is from the Hebrew. It means beauty, graciousness. And if you say chendel, that means a coquettish or charming gesture. Now, there's one noun that is almost always diminutive. You can say a kemel, which means a comb, or a kemela, which means a pocket comb, since it's in the second diminutive. But if you say comb, you mean a huge comb, like a comically big comb, like you'd see a clown at the circus taking out a gigantic comb to comb a single tuft of hair on a bald head, something like that. Likewise, a zeger means a clock, but a zegero means either a pocket watch or a wristwatch. Pocket watches are not that common these days, and neither are wristwatches, since everybody has a cell phone which is digitalized and has among its features the time. I don't know what the Yiddish word would be for a cell phone. Let me show you the list, and this time really show it to you rather than keep it just below the camera. I'm very sorry for that. It's rather hard to tell what you're seeing if it's if there's something blocking my view. So I'm holding it a little bit away from the camera and holding it up long enough for you to see these words here, which the way I see them on the screen is backwards, but as I understand it, when it comes to video, they're normal again. Okay. Down at the bottom there is the last of it. There we are. Okay, hope everybody's seen it. We're on to the next sheet of my cue cards, or what used to be my cue cards. Now, in many languages, there are differences between a human noun and a non-human noun. For example, in Arabic, all non-human nouns, when they're in the plural, have a feminine singular declension. Like, for example, well, forget it. I'm not teaching Arabic here. I still don't have the hang of it, and I get very little time to do it. So, let's do some non-human nouns that have the second diminutive as a sentimentality marker. Or in short, it's a cute little witty-bitty doggy. My dear little doggy, for example. A hund is just a dog. A hintel is a little dog. A hintela, however, is my dear darling dog, because it's marked as something sentimental. A lump is a lamp, A lemple is a little lamp, but a lompola is my dear darling lamp. A cup is a head, a keppel is a little head, and a keppela is a darling head, an enjoyable little dear head. For example, if you want your child to go to sleep, you'd say to him, Meishala, lig dein keppela und schlaf. Meishala, lie down your head and sleep, your dear little head. Then there is using diminutives as a pejorative. That the first diminutive is used for, and it's used usually with regards to a profession or job title, and it denotes contempt. For example, an advocat is a lawyer. An advocatul is a small-time lawyer, a shyster. A lehrer is a teacher. A lehrer is a lousy teacher, a really boring teacher. Likewise, a moller is an artist. A mollerl is a small-time artist, and so on and so forth. And here is the cue card, now a bulletin board, and I'll hold it exactly right so everybody can see it this time. I'm very sorry about last time. I thought I had it the right way, but I should have known. There you are. Next, you have regular diminutives as a love marker on people, such as children, such as one's husband or wife, or boyfriend or girlfriend, or fiance or whatever. Depends how far you can get, but always with children. For example, you have Avraham, which can be Avremel, dear little Avraham, or Avremela, dear little Avraham. Some of these, because of morphological problems, you can't have a first diminutive for or a second diminutive for, as is already understood from prior lessons. I don't want to go through the whole set of rules for that. The first rule in Yiddish is relax. Nobody will notice if you make a mistake because it's a very informal language. So let's live by that, and I'll just give you my list. Chaya, you have a second diminutive, chayala, but no first diminutive. Moshe is Moshel in the first diminutive, or more commonly, Moshela. And likewise, you have only a second diminutive for Leah. Leah is Linda or Leah. And the diminutive was only Leila, not Leil. Likewise, you have Sender, which would be how you would say Alexander. Yeah, that would be Senderl, which is only in the first diminutive. There's no second diminutive. Then there's Sora. There are some female first and second diminutives too. They're not all just second diminutives. So you have Sora, and you have Sorrel, and then you have Sorrela as the second diminutive of Sora. And you think we're done? We're not done. Just wait until you meet some of the other diminutive forms. Are you all getting? No, you're not getting it. Holding it too low, I'm sorry. There we go. Let me just keep it still for a few minutes. Okay. That's long enough. Next lesson, I'll start with a review of the alphabet, since we now have this new system, and I'm sure some of you don't know it well enough to follow along with the bulletin, with the bulletin board here. which I'm going through very fast, and it's problematic pointing things out. If I can get some transparency, hopefully things will go much smoother. Anyway, there is more diminutives than just the usual lamed and ll endings. There's k, which we met briefly. For example, a Schreibenmaschinke is a typewriter, a writing machine. But also in proper names you have that. For example, Avraham. If you have a particularly an Avraham that you're particularly fond of, instead of calling him Avremela, you can call him Avramke or Avramkele. Even that's like another second diminutive. And you can do the same thing with female names such as Chaike for Chaya and Chaikele. And likewise, you have Moshe, Moishke, and Moishele, and Moishel. You got a lot of wiggle room here. And then there's Shmuel, which you can't say Shmuel and Shmuelele because that sounds ridiculous. So instead you say Shmulke and Shmulkele. And likewise, your favorite niece you might call Reizke or Reizela or Reizkele or Reizel even, depending on what mood you're in. Now, God help you if your name is Yitzchak. Then people can call you Itzik, Itzikul, Itchik, Itzik, Itchy, Itzy, Itchela, and if they happen to speak English too, and they can make a play on Itchy and call you Scratchy. And then there's Shmuel, Shmulik, Shmulke, and Shmulikal. But okay, holding it up again, beautifully, like a good teacher. I'm not a good teacher yet, but I'm like one at least. I'm trying. There you go. Here. If you have trouble reading the Hebrew characters so fast, I would suggest freezing the frame and going over it. And like I say, out of consideration for the new system, I'll go over the Hebrew and Yiddish phonetics again next lesson. That's a promise. Now, at the end, life ain't easy for a boy named Yitzi, or Yitzchik, or Yitzchak. But your troubles are not over. You might, if your name is Yisroel, you might be called Yisrolke, or even worse, Srulik. And girls don't have an easy time either. A Chana can be a Chanche, a Chanse, or a Chanchik. And even poor Avraham can be called Avramchik. And that's how the speakers of English came to call people Boychik, which is a hodgepodge of Yiddish and English, which we call Yinglish, because all the Yingelach started using funny compounds like that when they came to America. So that's how we got Boychik. Anyway, here is the very last chart. And I can, since it doesn't go down to the bottom, it's easy to hold steady and know where it is. There you go. Now, I have been remiss because we used to have a proverb or saying at the end of every class. And I haven't done that in a while just because, well, life has gotten complicated and I was distracted. So here I'll give you a few of them to make up for my neglect. Okay, now there is a part of the Talmud called Pirkei Avot, or Pirkei Avos, we would say, us Ashkenazim, which has like sayings about ethics. One of them is, B'makom she'en ish, hishtadel lihiot ish. In a place where there is no man, you try to be man. You be the new sheriff in town. And tell the bad guys to get out of Dodge. So there is a Yiddish play on that. B'makom she'en ish, a herring is oichet a fish. Meaning, in a place where there is no man and you're not up to being one yourself, a herring is still a fish. Meaning you are what you are, and perhaps you better swim away or you'll get eaten. Okay, I'll pause while I think of another proverb. I promised you more than one. Here is one very favored among Hasidic people. Trach gut wird sein gut. If you think good, things will be good. And then there is everybody's favorite, because it's kvetchy, schwer zu sein a Yid, that it's difficult to be a Jew. Okay, that's enough proverbs for tonight. I can't think of any more, quite frankly, and it's late at night, so I must bid you a gute Nacht.